So welcome back. We will continue our discussion on structures and unions. I will just discuss a simple program on structures. Calculating the average of marks of student. Okay, that I am going to discuss, and we are going to discuss bit fields. We are going to discuss bit fields. So hash include stdio.h main. So after that, create a structure. Now struct say student. Now what is the structure we are going to create? So we will simplify it. We'll have one roll number field. So after roll number, let us have say marks of a student. Let us float. Let us keep it as float. M1. Can I declare like this? M1, M2, M3. Let me check M1, M2, M3. Not as separate fields. Separate fields actually, but float. They're of same type. So usually what we do is float M1, float M2 like that within the structure. But let me try this one and float average. So what we are going to do is we are going to read the roll number marks of a student and then calculate the average. After calculating the average of marks, we will add it to the structure and then print it. Let us see how to do it. So printf, enter the roll number and marks in 3 subjects. You can see here we are reading the roll number and marks. We are not reading the average. We have to calculate the average. So scanf %d percentage of the end of the structure variable is s1. So s1 dot roll number, s1 dot m1 ampersand s1 dot m2 ampersand s1 dot m3. So we are reading the marks. Let me check. Let me save it and let me check whether it compiles properly or not. Say ex18.c. Save it as ex18.c. So no problem. So what we are going to do, we have to calculate the average. So s1 dot average equal to, what is it? It is s1 dot m1 plus s1 dot m2 s1 dot m2 plus s1 dot m3 divided by 3. Okay. Now we can printf roll number, marks and average of a student or %d percentage of I will use space percentage of okay, again percentage of, okay, what are they? S1 dot roll number, s1 dot m1, s1 dot m2, s1 dot m3, s1 dot average, build it. So no problem, execute. Enter the roll number, marks in 101, say 101, marks, let it be 70, 80, 90. So roll number, marks and average of a student are 101, 70, 80, 90. Okay, the average is 80. So like this, you can calculate the, or you can process, you can manipulate the structure fields. You can manipulate the structure fields. Now, these structures are important, though we are discussing at present only trivial examples. As you go on, do advanced programming, you will be making more use of the structures. You will be making more use of the structures. So, in fact, we generally combine arrays and structures. Arrays of structures will be using. Linked list also will be using pointers and structures. So I kept them separate. I don't want to mix them because there is interdependency between all these topics, arrays, structures, functions, etc. We cannot discuss everything in a sequence. That's why I've discussed only the concept separately. If there is any interdependency, then I separated it. I will be discussing at the end. So this is a program for processing the structure elements. Now we'll go directly to the bit fields. So again, hash include stdio.h main. So what we have to declare the bit field. How we can declare the bit field? Is there anything like bit field? Reserved word? No. We have to do it using structure only. We have to use it. We have to do it using structure only. So structure. Say let us call it as time. So within this, what we are going to do, integer hours. So it will be, we discussed 5, because the values can go from 0 to 23 or 1 to 24. So 5 bits are necessary. So because 2 to the power of 5 is 32. So any value below it can be represented using 5 bits. So integer hours. So as we discussed, we generally use unsigned integer. Minutes is 6 bits because we require values up to 60 minutes. Unsigned integer seconds 6. Okay, so this is the bit field. Okay, say some t1. So we have declared like this. Now how do you read them? So they are unsigned integers. So how do you read them? Let me check. Even I don't know. Let me check. How do you read the bit fields? So printf printf enter the time, enter the time, enter the time. So /n scanf. Now what you are going to do? Suppose you got the doubt, you don't know. So this happens. Everything you are not going to remember. Even I don't remember now. Okay, how to read the bit fields? Generally, these programs are avoided. Little tricky. So what do you do? What do you do? Maybe you make a guesswork. Make a guesswork. Say t1 dot. Let us try t1 dot hours ampersand should be there. Ampersand t1 dot minutes. Again ampersand should be there. Ampersand t1 dot minutes. Ampersand t1 dot seconds, because I don't know exactly whether we can use percentage u or not. I'm just guessing because it is unsigned integer. Let me save it. Let me save it. Say ex19.c. Build it. Compilation failed. Cannot take address of bit field seconds. What are the errors you got? Okay, error cannot take the address of bit field hours. Now what I have to do? It is not taking. So what I am going to do? Okay. So you can refer to any book. You can refer to internet if you have. You can refer to any book. You can refer to internet. Okay. How to read the bit fields? How to read the bit fields? How to read the bit fields? How to do it? So what I am going to do is, so I'm going to demonstrate. I'm demonstrating to you what happens if you don't know anything. So don't depend on your teachers, etc., etc. Okay. So nowadays there is no need of depending on the teachers. For everything you have internet, browse it, connect it. Let it connect. So I go here, how to read bit fields in C. How to read bit fields in C. It is not connected. Let me connect it. So there is issue with connection. Okay. So go to any website. Go to any website, find out. Okay. You can initialize like this. It's okay. You can initialize like this. But how do you read it? How do you read it? So everywhere there is only initialization, unsigned integer. So what is happening? Everywhere there is only initialization. How to read? How to use the scanf? What is happening? There is no support here. There should be no. How to read bit fields? See bit fields structure 8 bytes. We'll go here and check. Again, only printf statements. Only printf statements are there. No scanfs. Everywhere it is initialized. Everywhere it is initialized. Oh, can't we read? How to use? Let me check. Use scanf with bit fields. Bit fields in C. Bit fields in C. Bit fields. C allows a structure to restrict bit with unsigned. So they cannot be read using a scanf also. Is it? Is it true? Is it true? Bit fields in C language. Using bit fields limitations. Bit fields do not have address, so we cannot use address operator. Bit fields cannot be accessed using pointers. Bit fields cannot be arrays. They must be declared. Okay. So control of scanf. Is there anything? So they cannot be read using scanf also. So what to do? What to do? What to do means I will try something else. T1 dot hours, because I can assign the values. Say it is 11 hours. I will call it as 11. T1 dot minutes. So you cannot read them. That is major limitation. Now we try to find 45 minutes. There should be some kind of solution. T1 dot seconds equal to some, again 30 seconds. So after that, let us just print it. Let us just print. Let us print. So 11 hours, 11, 45, 30. Okay, it is printing correctly. Let's go and just print the output appropriately. So percentage U colon I will put like this. Then how it is printed? Execute. You can see 11:45, 30 seconds. So this is one I have learned. This is what happens when you try to teach. You learn new things. So the best learner is actually a teacher. Best learner is actually a teacher. Teacher learns. and a teacher should not be ashamed of committing mistakes, inability to teach something. Doesn't matter, you have to learn and overcome it. So as a programmer also, you will not be knowing everything. In fact, there is no meaning in actually remembering things. The point I am trying to drive is, you can't remember everything. Maybe with C language to some extent, but you may be studying different languages like Python, etc. You can't remember everything. You will be knowing only the basics. So you will get doubts. So because when you get doubts, browse internet and find. If you have a textbook, fine, but textbook has limited information. Always remember, textbook is for learning as a beginner, but it will have limited information. So browse internet, be patient, know how to search, be patient, find the appropriate information. That you have to do as a programmer, particularly with Python, etc. They are huge. They are something like a ocean. Nobody can master Python, and Python can be used across several fields. So you should have domain knowledge also. Apart from the domain knowledge, again you should know how to use Python for that domain. So all these things you will not be knowing. You can't remember. So it is actually open book. It should be something like an open book. So there is no meaning in remembering the syntax. Maybe at the first year level it's okay, but as you move on, maybe when you start doing the job, you will be learning new things, etc. So you can't find everything in your brain. You have to find somewhere else. Okay, this is regarding the bit fields. So you cannot use ampersand operator. You cannot use scanf. I hope that's the lesson you learn, and also I learned that one. Okay, thank you for joining. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you.